Hello, everyone. This is Max Voltage, your resident mining and crypto expert. But tonight I got a little bit different topic, and it is regarding the EVGA queue system and the changes that they have made. And in summary, I'm not happy about it, as well as many of the other people. But I'll go through what the changes are, why I think they did it, why I'm not happy about it, and what I feel like they should change it to going forward. Not that they're going to listen to me. So here is what we have as far as what they changed. So the existing queue system, you actually got in, signed up, and then you were in a line for that particular GPU. And it was first come, first serve per SKU. Okay, so if that particular queue item was released on, say, June 3rd at 9 a.m., then it was all about how quickly you could get into the queue. So were there bots and things like that? Yes, but it was the system. And they did change it back, I believe, in May or April, where they said you had to be EVGA Elite in order to get in on the first 24 hours of a queue. So they've been making tweaks along the way to future queues, not retroactively changing them. So that is the way the current queue system has worked. Now what they're doing, and up on the screen, basically they are pushing everybody who has already purchased a 30 series card to the end of the line. No matter where you are on the queue, you are pushed to the end of the line behind everybody else who has not yet purchased a 30 series card, regardless of the 30 series card that you were able to purchase. So for instance, if you were purchasing a 3060 in the hopes of eventually getting something better than that, sorry, you're out of luck. Your only option at this point is to hope for the best in a step-up queue, and that has its own whole new set of rules of its own that I won't get into on this. So again, everybody that has already purchased a 30 series card is now pushed to past anybody that hasn't purchased a 30 series card. Okay, so that is the change. So first, before I get into my opinion on all this, I realize that EVGA could give two flying figs as to what my opinion is. I'm an evil miner in their eyes, so they could really care less. So I still want to give my opinion, and I'm still going to give my opinion. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is that why is EVGA even doing this? So people are like, oh, they're doing it for the gamers, those people that don't have cards. I call BS on that. That's not the reason why they're doing it. This is a business decision. I'm not saying it's a bad business decision. It's an unpopular business decision, but it's still a business decision regardless. So why are they doing it? They're doing it to expand their customer base. So they have a loyal customer base that has been buying GPUs either for themselves or for their family members or friends and such, because they know how the system works. Okay. Yes. Are there scalpers? I'm sure there are. And you know what? The scalpers are still going to figure out a way to beat this system. They just will. They always have. So now if we get past the queues or they just abolish the queues, then they really are going to give it up to the bots. Anyway, so they did it as a business decision in order to expand their customer base. Again, is that a bad business decision? No, I actually don't think it is a bad business decision. Like I said, I think it's unpopular, and I think it's honestly unfair to be doing it to people that had a certain expectation that they basically said that they were going to uphold this agreement based on where you were in line, and now they're saying that place in line. It's honestly no different than the Best Buy cutters, in my opinion. So I'll go into that a little bit later as to why I think it's very similar to that, but I think it's basically no different than that. So anyway, sorry, I got off a little bit of a tangent on that, but bottom line is EVGA is doing this as a business decision. Anybody that thinks they're doing it to be good for the gamers has nothing to do with it. Has absolutely nothing to do with it. It's a byproduct. So why do I disagree with this? The reason why I disagree with this is, again, you're changing the rules in the middle of the game because certain people aren't dedicated enough in order to get into the queues when the queues open, being knowledgeable about that. It's like changing the rules in the middle of a basketball game because the one team is losing, you lower their basket down to 6 feet and you raise the other one up to 12 feet to try to even the odds. It's no different. Is this a game? Yeah, it is kind of a game. It's trying to get GPUs. And heck, we're gamers, you know? I may be a miner, but I'm also a gamer. So it is very frustrating when there's a certain expectation that the company has committed to and then just finally just says, the heck with it. Now, do they have the right legally to do that? Of course they do. I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm also saying that there is consequences when it comes to customer loyalty and things like that. But again, loyalty versus expanding your customer base would probably be a better business decision than even worrying about the customer loyalty. While, like I said, I'm a very loyal EVGA customer and I won't be going forward, that really shouldn't matter to them because the gain from the additional customers will far exceed that. So, but again, there's still consequences to that. The other thing I don't like about it is the fact that, again, it's catering, and I know this is going to trigger some people, it's catering to the lazy. I'm sorry. There are ways to get graphics cards. I have gotten graphics cards over and over again. I've gotten 2 sets of graphics cards in Best Buy drops through family members. I mean, I'm talking about all my family members have gotten this. I'm letting you know in our family how have we gotten cards. So my wife stood in a line. She got a graphics card. My daughter stood in a line for Best Buy. She got a graphics card. My daughter stood in a line for Micro Center. She got a graphics card. I stood in a line for Micro Center. Totally different time for my daughter. I got a graphics card. I've gotten 2 graphics cards from Newegg Shuffle. Am I dedicated to basically doing it every day? Yeah, I am. But again, that's because that's what I want. You know, if you really, really want a graphics card, then you'll put forth the effort. And I've heard it through friends and such where they're like, oh, I'm so frustrated. I can't walk down to my Best Buy and buy a graphics card. Right, I know. We'd all love to be able to buy whatever we wanted when we walked into a store. Sorry, unfortunately, that's not the reality. And it's very unfortunate, especially as we get to Christmas, that won't be the case for a lot of things. But if you really want a graphics card, you would find a way to make it happen. People have, but they like to complain or they like to get it the easy way instead of putting forth the effort. So that's what's frustrating to me. The other thing that was very frustrating about this, and let me bring up that window, is the fact that EVGA came right out on their forum and asked our opinion. They asked our opinion. Should we keep the existing queue system as is, or should we allow only 1 series, 30 series card per account? And overwhelmingly, 2 to 1, they said, leave it the way it is. So if you're going to ask our opinion and just do something else anyway, then don't bother asking our opinion. That is the most frustrating and the most annoying thing of all of this. If you were going to do it anyway, don't ask. Don't ask at all. So that is extremely frustrating that they did, in fact, ask the question and then decided to do whatever the heck they wanted. So what would I do going forward? Well, I would do what EVGA has done already, which is change the system going forward. That is what they've done in the past to try to tweak the system to be more fair. And I'm okay with that. When they decided to say we're only going to do EVGA Elite members, that's fine. If they had said back then, I may not have been happy with it, but I would have been like, okay, you're changing the rules going forward, not changing the rules going backward, which is what they're doing now. So if when the supers came out, they said, if you have already gotten a 30 series card, you will be put at the end of the line. That's fine. I would be okay with that. And I think a lot of people would be okay with that. Change it going forward as opposed to changing the rules going backwards. Because then at least I know, okay, I've got a 30 series card. I have very little chance to get a 30 series card. I don't even need to waste my time to try to get into that queue. And I wouldn't waste my time. I have now wasted my time with the queue system. It's like, why did I even bother trying to get into the queue system for some of these cards that I know I will never get and that I really want? So anyway, that's what I would do if I was EVGA. I think that would be the best of both worlds. The Super Series, from what I understand, is not that far in the future. And they could make that change going forward. I hope that they will rethink this decision, but I don't expect them to, because like I said, I don't think it's a bad business decision, but at the same time, I don't think it's a fair decision. For those of us that have worked within the system, figured out a way within the bounds. And again, I don't use bots. I don't do anything like that. I'm like everybody else, hitting F5, refreshing the page, and trying to figure out and dealing with all the error messages when they came up at, whenever the initial release was, because of the problems with the EVGA website. Those are all expected. That's what happens when you slam a website with so many requests. It's expected. So, we took a long period of time, 2 hours, to both, all people in the family to get their cards that they really wanted. And now, unfortunately, my son has to live with a 3060 because he cannot upgrade beyond that, because he can't use any of the future queue positions for better cards. So anyway, I'm very disappointed. If you've managed to make it this long in the video, if you agree with me, please hit the thumbs up. If you disagree with me or didn't like the video, feel free to hit the thumbs down button if you feel that way. Sure, I'll be getting plenty of thumbs down on this video because people will feel differently. Anyway, if you like this kind of content, please feel free to subscribe. And as always, have a good day.